Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
21st, while addressing a meeting of his followers, Malcolm X was shot down by Negro gunmen.
He died from stomach cancer on November 30th, 1987, in Saint-Paul-de-Vence, France.
Retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash. It happened this morning.
Chadwick Boseman lost his battle with colon cancer Friday, his wife and family beside him.
And viral YouTuber Kevin Samuels has died in Atlanta.
So heavy. Just watching that man 2 days ago, I was looking forward, and this is the fucked up part. This is the extremely fucked up part. He was just about to air his panel with the 20 women he had. Mm-hmm. The ones that he dubbed, FBI. And he was going to talk to these women, and he had 30 CIA men he was going to talk to next week.
Oh,
in a panel. Great. And I was like, yo, the work, man. And then when Jessica broke down, man, that shit fucked me up last night, man. She's so nice. Like, and then like she was like, I'm hearing reports. She's like, this is probably fake news and all this shit. And then man, she heard from two people, Obsidian and Melanie.
Yeah.
And when Obsidian told her, you could hear the crack in her voice, and she muted herself, and everybody was like, you okay? And she's like, I'm not, I don't know. And she muted herself again. And I was just like, God damn it. And then I was like, this can't be. And it was surreal. You know what I mean? It was fucking, and I didn't even know that man, but I had spent hours watching this thing. Like, you understand? Like, yo, it was one of my, like, I enjoyed listening to Kevin Samuels talk. Cause I was like, damn, where you gonna take it next? You know what I mean? Like, damn,
the acronyms alone, the constant acronyms.
This man is steady dropping knowledge. I was like, yo, man, like, who is this guy? And that's what Alan was talking about earlier. It's like, with his background in sales, man, because Alan was like, my background is in sales. And, that's one thing you learn as a salesman is KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Mm-hmm. And he was like, just being able to succinctly tie something up and make it make sense to a layperson. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something complex, wrap it in a nice, presentable bow, and present it. And it be spot the fuck on. Everybody knows what the fuck they're looking at. And he said, that was a skill that few people have. And fucking Myron from Fresh and Fit said the same sort of shit. So did Rolo. Like, Kevin had a charisma and charm about him, but also an intellect and a demeanor that was stoic, and he was smart as fuck. Now, granted, he wasn't a fucking robot. You know what I mean? But at the same time, and there was times he slipped up, talking to a caller,
But the stupidity gets so intense, like you can't help but react to it. I remember one that really, it was just painful. I actually watched one. Like I try to get okay. So here was my thing, right? I like you mentioned, I always watched him for the advice, the initial, opening monologue, right? Because those are gold. I love those. It's when he goes into the caller portion of his show that he loses me, because it's not him that loses me, it's the callers that call in. You know what I'm saying? How many times do I have to sit here and watch you tell him like, keep your camera straight. You got to be mic'd up, unmute yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, like basic stuff of telecommunication. You know what I'm saying? In a modern age, how do you not know how to video call? It's 2020, 2022. How do you not know how to video call? This is standard. You know what I'm saying? Aside from all the dumb stuff that gets out there, but you know, you got to meet people where they at, right? But so to compound those things, then to watch the full 2 hour and a half, 3 hours is like, okay, it was a lot for me, right? But I do watch, you know, certain 30, 40-minute clips, you know, when I catch them. And there was this one girl that was on there, and she was like a social worker. She works with women or something like that. And she was so bad. It was painful to listen to her speak. And annoying as all hell to hear her breathe. And I sit there and this is where I'm like, this is how I knew he was a better man than me, because that phone call wouldn't have lasted 40 minutes. You understand? I ain't got that kind of patience. Bruh. But see, therein lies the difference. Therein lies the lesson. It's not about his annoyance. It was never about his comfortability level. Bro. It was never about that. He was always about the message, the mission. The mission is more important to me about me than me. It's about what we trying to build, and that is the purpose.
Bro, when Alan said that shit at the end of his broadcast, bro, I was like, nigga, it's not about me. It's about something bigger. I mean,
that's life in general. It's not about us. We're not put here for just our own satisfaction. It's that position where I get the whole, there's things that you've gone through and experienced that you derive wisdom from that I will never go through. Yep. And the verse is also true. And it's when we exchange that wisdom that we both grow as people. Bruh. Because that's the point of life.
People. Relationships, bro. And
it sucks to me, right, that all of his detractors never got that. And I get it, you know, universal popularity is an impossible concept. I understand that. But to disagree with it for the sake of disagreeing with it without trying it first, therein lies my issue. You didn't even give it a chance. You somehow found your way and your feelings got offended, and you put up this auditory wall and you missed the entire big picture. And you know what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? To have a media company that we can call, that Black people can call our own. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate the fact that we don't own anything in media. It's a doggone shame that we don't, considering how prevalent we are in it. Right?
Not even just how prevalent. One of the largest exports is our media.
That's what I'm saying.
Our culture.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a shame that we don't own a single bit of it. Right? So, you know, trying to build this whole thing, and it's like, you know, one thing that I take away from Kev is that, what was that? It was a Rocky quote. It was a Rocky quote from the last Rocky movie. I think it was just called Rocky, right? He was talking to his son. It's my favorite thing. And he was like, you know, paraphrasing, of course, he was like, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits. And what Kevin showed me is the kind of hits that I am in store for on this journey. I have to be able to feel myself if we're going to get this message out there, if I'm going to build this thing the way I want it to be built. You know what I'm saying? To be steadfast and unmovable, stern in my beliefs, stern in my mission, stern as a person, with a level of understanding that can be comparable to a saint.
Dude, that Don video he did, you remember that shit?
The Don video. No, I don't remember.
What? The acronym DIME?
Oh, DIME, yes. It's on my whiteboard, dude. As soon as I put that on my whiteboard, I have not changed that since I wrote it down. That is my guiding principle. DIME? Yes.
Bruh.
Don.
Discipline, integrity,
morals,
and ethics, bruh. Man, listen, man, again.
I was trying to work dime into my speech, but I couldn't, so I had to leave it out.
Man, listen. That's why that motherfucker is fucking ridiculous, bro. I don't give a shit. Man, that fucking podcast he did talking about dropping dime, and I'm fucking saying that shit motherfucker, man. And that's what I mean, man. Like, his message, like, nobody could deliver that. Like, that was a sermon, you hear me?
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is something that only doing it the way that he did was something only he could do. Breaking ground like he did. Only he had the unique shovel to break ground. Now the soil is soft. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If we don't capitalize on this right now, because there is about to be a major pushback. You understand?
Oh yeah.
The next week is going to be vicious.
Hell.
Because so much ground has been lost on that front, and they're trying to take it back. That's why you see so many people, so many women celebrating this man's death, because they lost so much ground.
Oh shit, Judge Joe Brown said something about Kevin Samuels?
Oh, of course. Judge Joe Brown is like a major conservative. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a fan.
Yo, he said high value at best. God damn. Bruh. Like, man, listen.
That does not surprise me at all. And I was thinking about something else too. One thing that I always had an issue with is his use of taps. And I get it, marketing, doing something that the layperson understands, will do whatever. But the issue that I had, just being a veteran, like, taps is the song that you hear when you're honoring a fallen soldier.
Yes.
Kevin Samuels is now a fallen soldier. This is the time to play taps. You understand? But it's so tied when it comes to Kevin Samuels and his message to the dog barking and the die alone, because you refuse to change your ways. Like, to do it for him would be like an insult. But like, how else do you do it to honor? You know what I'm saying? To honor. So I'm just gonna play his theme song.
You know what?
That's the best thing I can do, which is why I was happy that I found it where I found it, because we already got that subscription, so it works for us. You know what I mean? And we won't get copyrighted for it. But yeah, I think what needs to be taken away from anybody who passes on is the lessons that they taught while they were here. Yes, give people their flowers while they're here, but also when they're gone, remember the lessons that they left behind, because that's the point. We have to focus on that stuff and continue to move forward. We can't do what we did with civil rights, that once all our leaders, died or were assassinated, that we completely dropped the ball. We cannot repeat that. That's the biggest concern that I have. We have been shown that it can be done, so let's do it. And that was just one dude.
And that's why, I gotta go follow that channel. That's like I was talking about too, man. I really want more black married couples to get in this fray, man. I really want that, because that's the missing piece too, man. Like, it's one thing for single folks to, talk about the issues and use the data. It's another thing to actually have married couples that's in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually talking about that shit, man. And like, that's why I wanted to do that episode with Ashley. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do more with her, because I'm like, yo, like, they need to see a functioning relationship. Like, that's one thing, again, watching Kevin Samuels, even with you telling me, like, yo, like, seeing you two together, like, that's how it's supposed to be. And then watching Kevin and just hearing the testimonials of other married couples, even on his show, married women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took for granted what I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really know. Like, I thought this was just normal. You know what I'm saying? But like, looking at it and looking at the numbers and seeing the divorce rate, and like, it's like, fuck, man. Like, motherfuckers really don't know. And then even with you telling me like, yo, I didn't grow up seeing this. I didn't grow up seeing a functioning family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then seeing you two together, the way y'all parent, the way y'all move, the way y'all compliment each other, the way you go do your thing and she does her thing, but y'all have y'all roles. You know what I mean? Like, I just did it.
Like I say,
but that's because I had an example. You know what I mean?
Right. Like just knowing, like I will, like, I mean, we joke, but you know what I'm saying? Like you can't help but give Ashley her praises. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the
term "hold you down" is like she embodies that terminology. Most a lot of our platitudes, you know, are just empty words, but like to actually see it happen, like she anchors the house.
Bruh.
Like I know just from an outside looking in, I know that you can go to work in peace knowing that everything at home is okay.
Bruh. And this is the thing, like that weight being lifted frees a motherfucker up to do so much other shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, hell,
like,
if she wasn't
just
anchored,
having
you
that
couldn't
peace
do
of mind.
this.
Bruh! Just having the peace of mind. Listen, I got up a second ago before we started this. And she was, like, taking care of the girls. I'm just like, bro, like, it is, that peace of mind is irreplaceable. It's fucking priceless. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as a father, you want to leave your children in the hands of someone capable, someone you truly trust. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the boons of being married, bro. Even when you're talking about, I'm not even gonna get into statistics right now because it's not a time. But even when you talk about just the income of it, right, of just married couples, you can't beat it as a single person, bro. And to think that you're gonna raise children by yourself, man, is just
to willingly want to. Circumstances aside, to willingly choose to do this.
Exactly. To make the choice to do it. And it's like, what? Why would you? What? Yeah, man, it's.
And only then, and I agree with you. I want to see more successful Black married couples enter into this chat, just because, like, to show what's possible, to show that it does work, that it can work. You know, all of this other stuff. Like, I mean, it's. We need to continue to tear down the facades. We need to continue to tear down the delusions. I think that's ultimately what needs to happen, and that will only happen, like you said, not with single people giving out data and statistics, but with married couples entering the fray. Like, yo, this is what we do. He goes to work, I take care of the house. He looks after me, I look after him. It works. You said yourself in a past episode that you and Ashley only fought a handful of times, a literal handful of times in 14 years. These are supposed to be the rough years. You about to hit the point of no return, the 15-year mark. That's the point of no return, if I remember right.
Oh, bro. And that's the thing too, 'cause, like, we talk about it, we're like, dude, this is it. We're in it. Like, this is us. That fucking TV show, this is us, baby. This is it. Like, there is no going anywhere. Like no, bro. Like, I'm not looking for no other motherfucker, man. And that's the thing too. I think people misquoted fucking Kevin, man. It wasn't that, you know, men are looking to exercise options, right? But at the same time, you want the benefit of being a woman, the same exact privilege and title of a woman who stuck out the shit years.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Stuck out the shit years, but didn't actually do it. And then you want the same privileges, and it's just like, he's not gonna look at you the same, bro. I'm sorry, he's just not. It's just not the same, man. It kind of reminds me of a motherfucking, like, for example, right? There's a bond that's created, and my vets can. You're a vet, you know this. Vets will understand this. When you meet another vet, there is a certain bond there. Just on the experiences alone, there's a certain bond there. It's the same shit when you build something with somebody when they fucking broke, bro. When you start at the bottom with somebody and y'all make it and y'all go through them trenches, bro, I can't see myself with nobody else. Other females is invisible, bro. I know I make jokes about celebrities and shit, bro. I know I make jokes about celebrities. Ashley know I ain't leaving her ass. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? She know I ain't going nowhere. Why? Because that's my ace coon boom. You understand what I'm saying? And Kevin did an episode, and I gotta go find this one too. Kevin did an episode talking to it was another men's week. I think it was in early 2021. I think it was during Father's Day week, and he was talking to a black man, and he said, all these men in the space that talk about, women ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. You all have never felt the warmth of a woman, the true warmth of a woman. And I don't mean, and he's like, I don't mean sexually. There is something that a woman brings to your life, that a true woman, a feminine, beautiful, and inspirational woman brings to your life that you cannot replace. And when he said that, I was like, anybody listening to that thought he hated women, shut the fuck up. Right there. Because what he said was 100% facts. A true, actual, like you said, ride or die, bruh. A motherfucker that went through the shit with you, bruh. That came out just as bloody and scarred as you did on the other side.
Yep. And see, and
you would be a goddamn fool to even attempt to replace that relationship.
I was talking to one of my Marine Corps friends, and it's funny that you mentioned that because it was something that he said to me, and this was back when I was like royal blue pill, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, he told somebody he was messing with, a girlfriend of his, and she had a problem with the way he treated her versus somebody he'd known his whole life. And he said to her, he was like, that's not how that worked. Now he's a Southern dude. You know him. I'll tell you his name offline, but
okay.
Yeah. He was like, and I say that because of what I'm about to say. He said, well, you're asking for too much, darling. You asking for something that she had already earned. You ain't gonna get that same treatment because you ain't been here nearly as long as she has. Nope. It's the same concept. Yep. If you leave somebody who has been with you through the mud when you ain't had a dime to your name in search of somebody better, quote unquote better, you think and this woman thinks that she's gonna get the same treatment. No, that's not how that's gonna work. You're not finna sit at the finish line waiting to get the winner and expect to be treated like you've been there the whole time by his side. Yeah. That's why I said that, growing up, that's what I wanted. I wanted somebody to help, to build with. Because ideally, going through the muck and the murk to get to a certain position is, ideal. That way, if something does go wrong, and we do get a divorce, and she does take half, at least she'd be entitled to it.
Woo!
Because she was there for half of the work.
Woo! Yo, that's one thing. Yo, O'Shea did a video about LeBron James's wife, bro. Like, I gotta take my hat off to LeBron James. I'm just gonna say it, bro. That man, he gets a lot of shit on the court, and rightfully so. But that man, his personal, that dude's above reproach. I don't give a shit, bro. That dude is his philanthropy, his love for his wife, the community, the fact that he stays in the male image, bro. Yo, I got to give props where it's due, man. That man is the truth, dude. Mm-hmm. And And I've said that for an extremely long time because LeBron has been married for, shit, I think longer than me and Ashley. And you don't hear shit about his marriage, bro. Shit about it. His wife is in that role. She like, listen, I know where my bread's buttered. I'm good. I'm good over here. I don't need to be in no limelight. I don't need to be in front of my man. Let my man do his thing. Yo, I got our kids. I'm good. I'm good, man. And this goes back to the way that, like, nowadays I see women shitting on stay-at-homes, man. And that was one of my biggest fears doing this, honestly, was because it does turn personal. It's kind of like what Alan said, right? You want to be able to still go to Walmart, right? Without being noticed.
Which is why we do it the way we do it. Because I want to be able to go outside too.
Listen, and I'm not saying that a motherfucker's ever gonna get that big. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not tooting my horn, right? But at the same time, it's like if it does happen, you always gotta think about,
exactly
worst and best case scenarios, right? Like if it does happen, it's not just me in the line of fire. That's one thing that motherfuckers used to knock Kevin for. But I do take my hat off to him. He kept his life private, and part of that, what helped that, he wasn't married. His kid is grown, right? So, and he has a functioning relationship with his ex-wives. So they never came out and said, terrible shit about him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because there was nothing to really tell. I mean, he was pretty honest about his relationships. He blamed himself for, them ending, not being adequate enough for, different reasons. You know what I'm saying? So, but it kind of reminded me of activists. You know what I'm saying? Activism is a young man's game. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the, you hear that saying all the time. Why? Because when you're young, you don't really have anything established to lose. A 20-year-old really ain't, he don't have a career and a family and children and a spouse he got to worry about. He's the target.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He only got to worry about himself. And that's why I think gave Kevin kind of a leg up in this arena, right? It's like me and you were talking offline earlier about him being the conduit for the vitriol.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The fact that he's gone, somebody's got to fill that void, bro. And at the same time, it's like, okay, whoever fills that void is going to be subject to a shitload of vitriol.
Yep.
Right? And as much as I want married couples to come out and, support the message and get the word out, do I want them and their families to be in jeopardy? I don't want my family being in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my wife to have to deal with this shit if she don't want to. If Ashley came and said, yo, I don't want to do the podcast no more. I don't want to be a guest anymore. Cool.
Yeah.
I will never force her to do that shit. But at the same time, she's already done some. You know what I mean? So she's out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out there. And it doesn't stop anybody from, targeting her through social media or doing some abhorrent shit. I know I could take this shit, but you don't want to put your loved ones through.
No, of course not.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
then on top of that, you worry about that as your role as a man of, protecting her and whatnot. Which is why I insisted on us doing it this way, because I ain't got nobody. But what if I do? What if someday that happens? Then what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I mean, yeah, man, all that shit just, it's crazy, man. And that's why I say Kevin was a unique, it was like the stars aligned, bro. His background, his life experience, his traditional upbringing in the church, right? That one dude said, being able to slip those Bible passages in there on the low.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being from the church, being traditional, being stoic, being from sales, knowing how to keep things simple and phrase things. It was the perfect fucking storm, of a person. You know what I'm saying? And those things combining and forming into one person, and then him also championing that message. It was again, stupid religious term, but it's an English word, prophetic, right? It was prophetic. it was just like it all aligned perfectly. And even the blow up happened, COVID, like it aligned fucking perfect, bro. It, like, you couldn't have asked for a better alignment in personality, subject matter, timing.
Yeah.
During COVID, bro.
Yeah,
like,
because when
it
everybody was looking for
perfect.
something to watch, and that's when it just took off.
Bruh. It was fucking perfect. So it's like, yo, man, like, it's wild, man. It's wild. It really is.
It's like I was telling you before, dude. Like I worry a lot about the after, you know, what happens next, because like we talked about offline, nature abhors a vacuum. That is a law. You cannot have a power vacuum, and especially one this big. So what is going to happen next? That's ultimately where my head is at. That's where my reflection has been, because it's just like, you know, we don't want to, again, my concern, we don't want to drop the ball, but who will put the crown on next? My vote necessarily is MTR. We said this a long time ago when we saw that, when we found his channel, if Kevin was the king, MTR is definitely a prince. Who better to take up that mantle than that man right there? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie to you that, I mean, MTR is my guy, man. I mean, even from the way he phrases things, it's very close to the way Kevin does it. And the way he takes subject matter and makes it digestible. You know what I mean? And he does it in such a way that's more palatable to the sensitive folks. Because, see, here's the deal. Kevin, in order to break, and I know my pops posted this on Facebook earlier. In order to break a delusion, right, a harsher tone is sometimes needed in therapy. Psychologists have studied this. They use it with schizophrenic patients, right? That was needed to pierce through the noise. Kevin was needed to pierce through the muck, and that's why I said the first 2 years, 2020 and 2021, was piercing through the muck. It was sifting, it was getting dirty, it was getting down.
Yeah,
it was
it's breaking ground.
And now that work is done, and now that the message is out, and you see more women entering the space and more men entering the space, and people actually being a little more receptive to the reality of the situation of the community, right? And actually being given sort of solutions, right? MTR's message is needed.
Yep.
Allen's message is needed, right? Going forward, you need people that are, I don't want to say more sensitive, I want to say able to show more empathy.
Well, not even that.
That makes sense.
Not necessarily empathy. It's is it empathy? Maybe it's a level of understanding and patience.
That's what I mean by empathy.
There's a modicum of poise that's there. You know what I'm saying? Because MTR is one dumbass away to be like, okay, look here, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
No, like, I can see him
going off the deep end. Like he's very respectful with his stuff too. But it's just like,
he is.
But I get the feeling like my brother is just like, yo, look, I'm not. You not gonna come here with that bullshit.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So those like I was talking about that one caller of KS's that was just painful to listen to. It wouldn't have lasted 40 minutes. She'd have got 15 tops. That's what MTR.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. And that's another thing I think, because certain content creators don't do it live all the time. Some of them do recorded sessions with women and men. I think that gives them better way to massage the data, so to speak. I'm an IT guy, right? Massage the data, right? Yeah, it's a term we use when you're dealing with big data, right? When you're combing through a lot of query searches and shit in SQL, and you get your results, and it's like, okay, all right, I got a lot of I gotta make it readable. You know what I mean? Like, I threw a query, hey, how many machines we got in the environment? We got all right, now I gotta make this readable. Okay, now I gotta organize it, put it in alphabetical order. I gotta like, right, you gotta make it legible. You know what I'm saying? So it allows you to massage the data better, you know, to make it more palatable too. So, wow, what happened?
Wow, just saw a celebrity. Because you know she got her detractors too. And so on her Instagram, there's a picture of somebody in one of her haters in a Facebook group, as always. It posted up a picture, says 1 down, 1 to go. Has a picture of Kevin Samuels and a picture of her.
You gotta be fucking I never know who you're talking about. I don't even have to fucking ask.
And she says, and her caption says, well, damn, what did I do? So many women are celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels, which proves his point. Y'all are angry at someone you don't even know. I disagreed on some of his opinions, but most were spot on. You say he's wrong about his delivery, but you're spewing hate on someone who's dead. The bashing you claim he did, you're doing. For them to wish me dead is beyond disturbing. I don't insult women. Look at my delivery. I never insult folks. Don't send me this shit if you're not going to send me the link to the group. Anyone who was on his show knew what they were getting into. At the end of the day, he was somebody's father, brother, son, and friend. That's all I will say. Have a good day, y'all. And see that, you know, that's one of the things that's really chapping my cheeks. And we gonna get into that in Facts Over Feelings. But I gotta say this, right? It's amazing how you can sit here and talk about how much you are disrespected, hated, and you know, attacked, right? For somebody telling you about yourself, giving you an honest assessment, because when you call in, that's what you asked for, right? But then get all up in arms when you get it, because like we was talking about before, many motherfuckers ask for shit that they don't know that they don't want until they get it. And then you attack the motherfucker who gave it to you, who you asked from. No one told you to go tune into his show. No one forced you to go call in. No one told you to camera up and look all messed up, and nobody told you to have, well, no one, you should have known better than to fall for this bullshit if you know, the bullshit propaganda, if you had a mind of your own to weigh out options, to weigh out information, to see where you actually stand. Nobody forced your hand in any of this. It's like you said, you made the choice. You made these choices to get you where you landed in KS's crosshairs. You did that. Mm-hmm. So how are you mad at him for telling you about yourself? But that's something else.